That wasn't too hard, was it? I mean, sure, when you're trying to embed a video, you do have to go in and you have to look at the height and the width of the embeddable media player that you're trying to paste into your blog and make sure that it's going to fit within the margins of our TLN blogs. But that's not overwhelming. All you need to do is find the width and the height setting, which is usually in the first line, and change it to something like 370 pixels for the width and 300 pixels for the height. That's not too hard. The trick is this though. Sometimes some services have media players that require still different settings. While 370 by 300 usually works in a TLN blog, sometimes individual media players will require a different number even than that default. So what I do is, instead of just guessing and hoping that I'm going to be right about my height and about my width, I go down and click the preview button, which is here, next to where you usually save your posts. When you click on the preview button, what you're going to see is actually a live preview of what your entry will look like when it's posted on your TLN blog. And if you scroll down in this particular case, you'll notice that the TED video that I'm trying to embed is pretty good when you consider the width of the video player. I don't have any concerns about the width. But when you look at the height, it's pretty clear that the buttons, the navigation buttons for the video, have been cut off. What that means is I've got to change the height setting again, because the height that I've chosen isn't tall enough in order to allow people to use the navigation buttons easily. So what I'm going to do is close out of the preview, go back to my height setting, which originally was 300, and I'm going to change it to something else. Usually I go up by increments of 25 or 30, simply because that's a pretty good pixel amount. So I'll click in here, maybe we'll try 330 for my height. And I'll scroll back to the bottom again and select preview to see if that's fixed my problem. When the new preview loads, I can scroll down and I can see that all of those navigation buttons which were cut off when the height was 300 are back now. Do you understand why it's important to check the preview button and to see whether or not the settings that you've added, the dimensions that you tried, worked? Most of the time, a width of 370 and a height of 300 is going to be fine. But it's worth checking in the preview button just to be certain that those settings are working for the video player that you're trying to embed in your site. It only takes an extra minute, but in the end, that extra minute is valuable because you can guarantee that you're going to get the final product that you're hoping for.